this is really something to see here with Target. I mean, can you imagine? I'd like to see who came up with this idea that you might actually have products from a designer who was known for worshiping, wait for it. I mean, really and truly, wait for it. Satan. I mean, this is it's unbelievable. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I'm just looking at you, by the way. Thank you for being here. William Cordes, good to see you again. Jake, I know. What is going on? If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, and I hope you guys are subscribed to that as well, we are right here live on the YouTube channel, live. So that means with technical errors and all the other stuff, but I'm talking to all of you live, and it's great to see you again. I don't know what's going on. I mean, this one, again, is just really disgusting. And how on earth a company would not vet the designers that wanted to sell the binding stuff and the tuck 'em in stuff? I mean, what is that? Like, you're selling it at Target? I mean, you can't go and buy that online if you happen to be part of the 0.1% of the population that, look, there are people that suffer from this, but it's not like enough people to be putting it on display in the front of the store at Target. So now Target, this is breaking today, came in and said, okay, we're going to take it all down. And they're getting rid of the products that were designed by this person. Let me share this with you guys. Okay, so it's like, it's all hell burning all around us, hence the Elmo thing. Anyway, this is the company. This is the designer called AB Pralin or Ob Pralin. It's a UK company, and it's this particular guy. I don't know if that's him, but there's some designer guy, and this is his company, and he is a worshiper of Satan. I mean, I just don't understand that he's so much a worshiper of Satan. He creates T-shirts and stuff. But let me go back to the T-shirt, just in case you missed it. Satan respects pronouns T. That's what he's pushing. I mean, wow. And then he's got something that says, I mean, I don't even like reading this, but I'm going to read it because if you're watching the show, you're going to see the words. But if you're not watching, you need to hear it. I think it's important that you understand where all this is coming from. So he's got this thing that says, Satan loves you and respects who you are. You're important and valuable in this world, and you deserve to treat yourself with love and respect. I've been thinking a lot lately about the Satanic Temple and to a lesser extent, the Church of Satan, how they so frequently misunderstood and demonized, pun not intended, and how often LGBT plus people are so often referred to as being a product of Satan and going against God's will. And he goes on and on about, just how much he loves Satan. So Target, mainstream American company, now thinks that it's great to have products designed by somebody who worships Satan. I know, the whole QAnon thing and whatever. I don't even fully, I'm not up to speed on that, full disclosure, but I do understand that one of their concerns was that children were being somehow victimized and there was a satanic element to it. So, they're sitting there going, see, I told you. I mean, come on, Target. Did you not learn anything from Bud Light? Anything at all? And again, is it all designed to just make us somehow less sensitive to things? Because honestly, truly, this feels quaint.
Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness.
That feels quaint compared to the Satan respects pronouns T. And just to be clear, so we don't get Target all over us, that was actually not, that specific T-shirt was not sold in Target stores. But other stuff made by that designer was. So I went online and I tried to find the other stuff, and it said no longer available. This product is not available. So at least they made a move to get the satanic designer out of the store. But the rest of the stuff they just moved apparently to the back. So you can still buy the binders and you can still buy I don't even know what this is. I've never even heard of this. So there's a special tuck it thing that you can wear. It's wild to me. I'm just looking at the picture of it again. So a tuck-friendly construction. You can have a swimsuit with a tuck-friendly construction. I guess that's if you want to wear like one of these Adidas swimsuits that they came out with, then do you need the tuck-friendly construction like for this? Sorry, at least it's not morning time when I'm showing this to you, right? Anyway, I guess that's what one would use it for. Really, come on. It's really getting weird and I don't understand it. I think there's an element of let's do what we can to show Joe Biden how supportive we are of him. Let's do what we can to show ESG investors like BlackRock that kind of control a lot of the marketplace how woke we are. And so maybe they'll invest in our stock. And then there's the other thing, like maybe Target needs to distract from their sales numbers because, some of their earnings haven't been looking so hot. Maybe we're going into a more challenging economic time. And with inflation, maybe people aren't shopping there as much. So this is the answer. Listen, I'm telling you, this is going to be Bud Light on steroids. Are you going to go to Target now? I'm not going to Target. By the way, I didn't go to Target to begin with, but you know what? And by the way, they were like the high-end thing, right? Like the Walmart it was Target. No one's going to Target now. And I think they're pretty darn annoyed that this was what they got greeted with in the front of the store. And they didn't clearly learn a darn thing from Bud Light, but none of these very smart people ever do. They don't understand the world in which we live. And I think inherently that is the problem. They don't understand the customers that they service. They don't understand where everybody else's head is at, where, the Tuckum device for kids is like, or adults, I don't even know. Like, it's a little much, okay? Just a little much. Americans are pretty kind, accepting people, but you can only push us so far. So talking about like things looking quaint, and maybe that's the idea. Maybe they just shock us and shock us and shock us so that they wear us down. I'm sorry, you're never going to wear me down. Not on that stuff. Look, and I have a lot of empathy. I have a background in the performing arts. I think some of you know I actually studied opera way back when. I worked in television. I met a lot of people who believe that they should be female. And some people just went as females on the weekend. Some people came to work. A lot of makeup artists, for example, as females. And I always respected them and treated them however they were dressed and expected to be treated. So I say this with a very generous heart, and I try not to judge, and I'm kind of libertarian in that aspect. However, when you start trying to force feed it, now we're talking a whole other ballgame. Now when you think that we're just going to accept this and normalize this, and you're going to just shock me and shock me and shock me until I'm worn down and think it's fine for everyone. No, it's not fine for everyone. You know how many kids are so confused over this as a result? Chris Rufo actually did a wonderful interview with a whistleblower at a clinic in Texas all about this. And I'm going to share an excerpt with you because I just think it's really, really important to understand what's at stake. You got lots of young kids, especially young girls, that are falling victim to this. They're falling victim. Why? Well, because you know what? I'm sorry. When you're 12 or 13, there's some things you really, really don't like having to go through. That's just the reality of it. And puberty can be a very difficult, very challenging time for a young woman. And according to this article, again, this is Chris Rufo. The article is entitled, "They're Wanting to Play God," and it's from City Journal. And he spoke with a whistleblower, as I said, at one of these hospitals, Texas Children's Hospital. And it's just alarming because I'll quote from it. Then the doctor asked this girl, he's quoting, by the way, the whistleblower that's coming forward. And so this is this particular whistleblower speaking. "How are your periods coming along? Would you like for your periods to go away? Do you feel uncomfortable?" And the girl looks at the doctor and says, yeah, can we do that? Yes, I would love that, she says. And then the provider tells the girl, it's totally fine. You don't have to have a period at all if you don't want to. And of course, this is all because she's trying to transition to be a boy and she doesn't want a period. So now we're going to just normalize this. Target's like, hey, we're on board. We're going to put a big display up front and we're going to just say, oh, it's wrong. Like, it is just wrong. Wrong. And it needs to stop. I mean, my gosh. But anyway, in the meantime, like I am a business journalist. So let's take a look at shares of Target, shall we? Because this is a company that I don't think is going to be able to quite manage this the way they would like. And sure enough, shares are down almost 3%, closing this session down more than $4 at $143 a share. And guess what? In after hours trading, as I speak, they're going down some more. If you look at the stock price just over the course of the last month, really since this story caught on, sure enough, it was up around 162 or so. Now we're looking at 143. In after hours, 142. This stock is going to run into a lot of trouble because people are not going to shop there. Why should they?